Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Let's Talk. Today I want to talk about why I don't support the Black Lives Matter movement anymore. I did used to support the Black Lives Matter movement. Obviously, when it first came out, it was all over the news. It was on TV. It was around 2020, and they were protesting the police brutality of black men, and it was something that, as a black man myself, it obviously touched, and I was very supportive of it. I'm like, hey, they're trying to stop police brutality, and they're angry that all these black men are dying. I was behind it very much. I was thinking of getting the merchandise and shirts and stuff like that, and I was a very avid supporter of it. Obviously, I felt it as a black man myself that I became fearful that my life might be in danger. But then I was told by a friend of mine who directed me to this Christian church where the pastor was giving a sermon and they were talking about the Black Lives Matter movement and how it wasn't all as cracked up as they made it out to be. It had quite a bit of Marxist views, and he was challenging me to go to their website. And so, because I didn't want to just I don't like taking people's words at face value. So I ended up going to the Black Lives Matter website themselves. And that's when I found out that everything he was saying about the group and what they really supported was true. And police brutality was a very small percentage of what they were actually supporting. It's something about transsexuals, and it was very pro-Marxist, very anti-US, and it just had a lot. It was also very anti-family, which I grew up in a single family home that obviously touched me quite a bit. I had a single mom who raised me along with my sister, and we were always very close as a family. We did everything as a family. We was raised on the value of a family. And so when I saw stuff like that, that just had me rethinking my views on the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's see. And then let's see. I think the Black Lives Matter movement should try to be more open about their true views. I think if the Black Lives Matter really want to make a difference, I think one of the things they can start is by looking within our own community as African Americans and trying to bring solutions to our own communities, because there is a flip side to the struggles of black people. Half of that is the obstacles that have been put in our place, so like racism and stuff like that has been a hindrance, and also drugs has been another one that's hindered the black community. But I also feel like we need to address the situation regarding black on black crime, and also the conditions of the inner cities, where a lot of these cities are ran by black mayors, all black city council members, and yet the cities and the quality of life be just as bad. So I think Black Lives Matter should highlight some of those situations as well, if they want to really make a difference for black lives. And if Black Lives Matter, our lives should matter within the cities that we live in. Our lives should matter from gang violence. Our lives should matter on gun violence from the black community. Our lives should matter when it comes to our education being top notch. Our black lives should matter when it comes to corrupt politicians who take a lot of the money and use it for themselves. And I think they should do more things like providing positive programs. And with all the attention that they're getting, and all the funding that they get. They got about $91 million in 2020. I feel like that could be used for the inner cities, to build more better educational programs for the black youth and for black families, give more business opportunities to black people in the communities, and actually try to strive to promote black people youth centers and stuff like that, so the youth can have things to do and they don't have to just be sitting there being prey to the drug dealers. There's a lot of other things that we could do within our own communities that the Black Lives Matter movement seems to not really pay attention to very much. So I would like them to focus more on some of those areas, as well as racial equality. And so I would also like to discuss how I feel like a lot of the Black Lives Matter has become just a popular slogan now. You got people saying it in their online profiles. You got people doing salutes and the whole kneel on the national anthem thing. But I just like to know if this is genuine or not. I would like to know if these are actions that are followed up with actual actions that try to make a difference in the black community. I don't believe all the it's easy to say the Black Lives Matter slogan, and it's easy to protest and do stuff like that, but what about actually trying to help black people with funding and giving better opportunities to blacks when it comes to business, home ownership, education, and healthcare, and a lot more? It takes more than just saying a popular slogan to make a difference. I also like to discuss the hypocrisies of some of the Black Lives Matter movement, how some of them are choosing which black lives actually matter. There was a story about a black father whose son was killed by an illegal alien, and yet he went to the Black Lives Matter movement and they did not want to address this issue at all, and just flat out refused to acknowledge his son's life that was killed. And I feel like because it didn't fit the popular narrative of a white police officer killing a black man, they didn't really care too much about it. But when an illegal alien did it, that goes against the left's whole thing about border security and stuff, so they didn't really want to take that up. And there's other situations as well, like how the founder of Black Lives Matter lives in an extravagant mansion, or multiple mansions at that, while black people in inner cities again are still struggling to make a decent living wage or to make ends meet. So I don't like that hypocrisy of the Black Lives Matter movement. I also feel like they should seek more unity among different races. That's something that a lot of the earlier civil rights leaders strived to do. People like Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, even Malcolm X later on, strive to want to have equal rights with different races and be treated equally despite their color, and be judged for their character rather than their skin color. I feel like racial unity is what we need more in the United States, and I feel like they focus just on the Black Lives part, and I feel like racism happens to many people of different races regardless of what color they are. I would like to finish off by saying I am very supportive of the black struggle. I am very supportive of civil rights and the movement that happened in the 50s and 60s, because they actually put their actions where their words were. They didn't always just protest, they boycotted, they brought attention to what was going on, and they lived the struggle and not just doing it for popular reasons. So I feel like we should keep the focus on nonviolence. That's what King and other civil rights leaders wanted, and more of a strive towards racial unity. So I feel like those are things that the Black Lives Matter need to focus more on. Those are things they can fix and do better on. But those are just some of my thoughts on the Black Lives Matter movement. Other than that, I don't have anything personally against the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm well aware that I'm a black person too, so the issues that black people go through, I go through as well. But I do want them to focus more on racial unity and also addressing the issues within our own community. So this was just me giving some of my thoughts. I'm more than open to discuss other people's views on it, but I am thankful for everyone who listened. And this is Artist Jackson, and this is episode 3 of Let's Talk. I will look forward to making the next episode, and thank you for listening. God bless you. Bye.